Hello guys, today I wanted to make a quick video about the siren ring and the gems. Should you as a Death Knight use it in PvP or not? Now, for PvP, I'm gonna start with blood. You should definitely use it. And you should use these three. All three types that are proccing damage. So the Squall Sailor Citrine, Undersea Overseer citrine, and the Thunderlord's cracking citrine. Now, all this damage is of course reduced in PvP greatly. Still, there's a blood decay if you go a lot of haste and you start hitting those vampiric strikes. As you see, we are getting plenty of procs. I'm hitting 3 dummies because in arena as well, I usually try to grip together people and AoE, and these citrines actually do AoE damage, even if they are not very close to you. We are getting plenty enough damage out of this. Now this is 8%, 4%, and this is 1.5 at the moment. Usually it procs even more. We are getting around 10% damage out of this. Of course we are losing some stats, but these procs are great because when you're hitting the enemy and they just proc, if you have additionally these embellishments that proc damage from the lens, that adds up. So sometimes you get multiple procs and it deals some decent damage. And I prefer to use it as blood because the stats doesn't have such a big impact, because you're not dealing anyway too much damage. And it doesn't really affect your survivability too much. But for Frost and Unholy, I wouldn't really prefer this to use because you will lose plenty of stats. However, it still gonna give you around 10% plus minus damage from the procs. So if you really want to have some spikes in your damage, it can actually be useful and fun. However, I think you will lose overall damage because you will lose stats, you will lose the versatility and mastery or haste. So I honestly wouldn't use it, but you can try it out in some battleground and have some fun with it. I honestly don't know why they nerfed even the gems that just give you flat stats, so that the PvP community would have at least something to do to make their characters a tiny bit stronger. But maybe the PvP community wouldn't like it. I have no idea. I would have loved to if they would, because this way the season is getting too boring for people who are just mostly playing PvP. So I even started to do Mythic Plus already. But yeah, what's your opinion? Should they have at least let those gems that are giving you flat stats not be nerfed, or yes? I mean, it's very easy to get the ring and the gems. Therefore, I don't think it would have such a crazy big impact, but people would have a purpose to play. Now, what I forgot to mention, you probably already heard, even outlaw rogues are proccing a lot these gems. Now, why are they proccing a lot these gems? Because they have a very low global cooldown, so they are spamming their abilities. Now, that's the similarity with blood decay. We have a lot of haste and we can reduce our global cooldown to 1 second and below that a tiny bit. And that's why we are getting more procs out of it. And Frost and Unholy doesn't get so much procs out of it. For PvE, of course, for all 3 specs, I prefer that you use the same 3 gems that I just showed you. For additional damage, the other ones are not so useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I gave you some information that was useful to you. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Beneath the ice and snow, a legend awakens. I am Arthas, the Lich King ruler of the damned master of Frostmourne.